On March 22nd, in Teutonnia, unrest began to unfold. The Aldegarr, bound by their oath of loyalty to the eternal Rulersflowers, refused to accept his departure and the successor he appointed, Adalricht. They rose in fierce defiance against the rest of Teutonnia, striving to carve out a sovereign state of their own, the Order State. I made my way to the hottest spots to scout the situation and find out the mood of Teutonic society. The shooting erupted within moments. Both sides showed no mercy, each mounting fierce and unyielding resistance, and amid the chaos, the truth became elusive. Who truly held the upper hand and who merely claimed victory for lies. The situation was further complicated by the presence of raiders who had already been carrying out acts of sabotage and killing Teutonians even before the civil war had begun. The battles swept across a vast expanse of territory, from Rule's castle itself all the way to the very building of the Unity League. Everything was thrown into the fight. Tanks, aircraft, tactics was fire and full. Numerous war crimes were documented on both sides, including the killing of medics and press. Driven by a genuine desire to understand what those on the front lines truly thought of it all, I managed to find several volunteers willing to share their thoughts on this matter. A new companion joined me to assist me in my struggle. Hopefully, with my new comrade, I won't be the victim of the Aldegarr war crimes anymore. Now let us proceed to the interviews. I found several people willing to participate. 3 from the Aldegarr, 3 from the Unity Guard, 1 from the army, and a couple of special guests. Please confirm that you are here voluntarily, are not forced to answer these questions, and consent to be filmed.
My name is Adalricht and I am here voluntarily.
Initially, when the Order State creation was just announced, did you think it was a good or a bad idea? Has your opinion changed since then?
I think it was a good idea due to our oath to Adalricht and him being our eternal ruler, his personal guard. It was also a nice decision to up activity and make the game more fun.
I, Atmorian, am here voluntarily and consent to being filmed. At first, I thought it was a good LARP idea. However, I am seeing side effects it has been doing to both our community and the Unity Guard. The Unity Guard has seen more defectors to the Order State side.
I am here of my own free will. I am not influenced by anyone. I am consenting for this to be used by Partridge Kurivnik. I have been a part of the Order States during the February of 2025 incident, so at first I was just confused since nothing warranting an Order State had happened. Over time I learned the actual reasons. As to my opinion, I believe the RG acted way too swiftly and harshly. And while I do see the upsides of this conflict such as the activity, the LARP can at times go a little too far, as the RG have shown with their uniforms. I like the current approach Supreme Command has to the conflict, though I would like to see the quote hate LARP be taken down a notch. That's all, Partridge.
When the RG Order State was announced, I felt relieved. Ever since the departure of our eternal ruler Adalricht, we had been forcefully fed an ideology of Odojevskyism. We were abandoning the very colors and traditions that Adalrightists had been accustomed to for years on end. Watching the pink flower be erased from the branch that had served Adalricht faithfully for years did not feel right whatsoever. He was being replaced by Odojevsky, a man Adalricht himself appointed to be his successor, and I no longer wanted to continue the longevity of my service to a nation and to a ruler who was so quick to forget who built it from the ground up. Odojevsky inherited what Adalricht gave, what Adalricht built.
Comrade, But did you... Holy... It's not the best time for the interview, it seems. Oh wow. Okay, we need to continue. Anyway. Even in the worst conditions.
I consent to be here voluntarily, etc.
The most dangerous interview so far.
I thought of it as an interesting idea. When the order state was announced, I didn't really know what it is, so I held myself back and voted neutral. But with the passing time, I realized that it rips apart the community and demotivates people to join the game due to boredom and repeating gameplay cycle.
I can confirm I'm here on my own free will. I thought it was a great idea. I love it actually. My opinion still remains firm even after all the bloodshed.
I am a volunteer and I'm not forced. To be honest, when it first got announced, I didn't even know what an order state was. A ton of my friends DM'd me about it, but I had no idea what I could expect.
Yes, I confirm on both. I was a denier about it first, as we had been through a rough time, and were finished with the peace treaty with the RCR. But as Vice Realms Chancellor, it's my duty to put the rest of the nation needs in front of my own.
What do you think will happen if your side wins this war? What would you personally do?
We will enforce Lloydguardism and remind Teutonians who made them, and we will keep fighting onwards in the name of the ruler, defeating his enemies.
I doubt anything will happen to Archie overall, but I do see the leadership being trialed. Me personally, I would continue my duties in the Unit Guard, striving to improve it.
I think Teutonia as a whole will be reformed and united under RG principles. Me personally, I'll stay here and celebrate by getting crossfaded.
Crossfaded?
If you know, you know.
Of course, our state would flourish without bound, and I'd walk side by side alongside my brothers and sisters who contributed to our victory.
If our side wins, I think the most realistic thing that would or could happen is that the Ruler Guard might, but only might, be reformed, and the realm will move forward as it was before. I personally would just be happy that I can return to my regular duties.
When the Teutonia side wins this conflict, I think the RG would take a huge hit to their pride, causing a lot of members of theirs to leave. So I would try to work together with the RG to prevent that. After all, despite this conflict, we are still all Teutonian.
I think when the RG order state wins, me personally, I would like to see the Teutonic government completely eradicated. I do not want another chancellery or another bureaucratic system to lead Teutonia into failure once again.
I'd imagine that the war would end. Every man would lay down their arms and run to their brother, hug each other, talk as we once did before, and stand united against the true enemy.
Oh, sounds very noble.
How long do you think this war will last?
At minimum, a few weeks, maximum a month or two.
The recent poll makes me think it will not last much longer, unless the realm's president or spies doesn't want to listen to the voice of the community.
Honestly, 2 to 4 more weeks, although, depending on how everyone feels, it may be shorter.
I don't think it will take too long until the good guys, us, win this. 3 days operation.
I honestly cannot estimate that. I think, however, that this will be dragged on as long as possible to create as much excitement for players as possible.
I see the war lasting no more than 6 months, personally.
If we were to continue this war until one side will no longer stand or give up, we are talking about weeks. However, I think that this will already come to its end in the next week.
Days, weeks, years. I cannot say truly. I want to say this instant, but I'll only become a liar if I do.
Tell me about the most interesting situation that has happened to you.
A 6th air fleet enlisted performing a kamikaze dive on me and missing.
My license being revoked is probably the most interesting so far, due to overusage of the bomber plane.
Did you bomb the castle?
Yes, with permission of the Vice Realm Chancellor. I bear the consequences regardless.
What do you mean, like LG-wise or just in general within Teutonnia?
Yeah, during this civil war.
Most interesting would be me defending Castle myself for an hour, give or take, against the 5 hostiles. And of course, I won.
Shows the Rulegar's excellency.
Damn right, we remain steadfast and never falter. Our duty only ends in death.
The most interesting situation has to be the fact when I almost managed to infiltrate the castle twice, but a fellow Naviesman killed me both times I almost got there. I got stabbed in the back.
I was in-game during the start, when the RG raided Lemberg. I've seen everything progress one step at a time. And as a member of the press, I've been documenting everything. In as neutral stance as possible, of course. I think that as a member of the press, I got to see things being done by both sides that most wouldn't even think could happen. So that is my answer.
What things, for example?
I would rather not say.
Tons of war crimes on both sides.
However, let's just say people wouldn't approve of some of these actions. It seems like you are catching on.
Of course! RG and UG are kidnapping my interviews.
I believe the most interesting event in the Civil War so far for me was given the opportunity to kidnap the Chancellery. Primarily Tarkwinn and other government officials. I believe that was a very fun time. We held many of them hostage within a building, took them down to the castle, and we jailed them for a very long time.
Well, a few days ago, the Vice Realm Chancellor was captured and held hostage in the RG Castle, and in order to free him, the Uji Regiment, Rulersflowers, had to create a rescue team to free him. Although said team did not complete its mission due to the RGS defenses being well set up, it still was an interesting situation.
Perhaps when I was kidnapped by the RG forces, it wasn't traumatic to me at all. Might have been for some. But when I saw their eyes behind their balaclavas, I knew I was safe. I saw my people.
The rule is the people's counselor.
I am not worthy of such a title. It's my duty to be for the people, as it's for a soldier to fight for his.
Thank you for all of your answers, comrade. Do you have anything else to say to the people watching this reportage?
The order state will prevail, and all the traitors will be executed. Long live Lloydguard.
The Ruler Guard will drown in their own pursuit of glory. Everything for Teutonnia.
Long live Lloydguard.
Guys, Freudable is a go! Army is a go, 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 go! Boom, boom, boom!
Keep your heads up high. This isn't the end. Just the beginning of a new chapter.
To any Teutonians listening, please, I implore you to find where your loyalties do truly lie. Lloydguardism has been vital to this group's longevity and survival ever since the Teutonic realm was launched. It's not a matter of community. Lloydguardism has long existed before any of these realms. This cadre has been loyal before Teutonia, before the RG Order State, and during Alemannia. Not Odejewski. Odejewski has never been the official ruler. He will never be the official ruler. The eternal ruler and the ruler will always be Lloydguard. There will never be a replacement.
People out there, do not give up only because this war is asking the most out of you. Just hold out and hope for better times. That is all I have to say.
I have some words for them. I apologize to those who believe I haven't done enough. It pains me to know that there are people from both sides who wish to see each, but cannot. I ask you.
Stand united in these times. We've overcome far worse. Triumph Teutonia, and long live Lloydguard.
Right during the interview, Unity Guard brazenly kidnapped my interviewee, despite the fact he wasn't threatening me, nor did he try to take me hostage. And so, they brutally executed him. Whilst during another interview, the Ruler Guard captured the building and killed my Unity Guard interviewee, despite him not presenting his weapons and not engaging in fight anyhow. Let us now move on to the Ruler Guard. The Ruler Guard had no intention of acting peacefully or adhering to the commonly accepted moral norms. They decided to establish their own rules. They abducted Adalricht and Odojewski and brutally executed the first. Then they threw Adalricht's corpse into Odojewski's cell, revealing exactly the kind of moral code they operate by. I feel deep remorse for our fallen comrade. Later, the Ruler Guard stormed the Unity League HQ and took the staff of the realm's Ministry of Culture hostage. I was among them, but surprisingly they didn't open fire on us, nor did they torture anyone. In this situation, it was Unity Guard who showed their dark side, firing several times through the windows, causing shrapnel injuries for the hostages, even though the Ruler Guard was eventually defeated. The RGO state has fallen. The government is reporting a new unknown infection. Stay home, maintain social distance, avoid close contact with people, and prepare for the worst. Triumph Teutonnia!